Happy Sunday afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the Premade Dominate slate for Winter 2023 split. I've made my inaugural return, but of course, I'm not the star of the show here on this host analyst
Oh
deskit.
my
I'm
god.
joined by Might as well, the league super genius by this point. I figured out, and Might, I know you rarely say I don't know when you're talking about league, but I have a feeling we're going to be talking about that exact phrase a little bit more often than maybe we do because our matchup tonight is I don't know lmao, which by the way, come on,
Come on, guys.
come on, guys, like
Come on,
think of a
guys.
name, like go to a
Team
mythic.
meeting.
Just like go to
5 minutes.
like a mythic beast generator and then like put an adjective next to it.
Go to
Like that's
band
a
name
team name.
generator. Be like Red Monkeys or something. There you go.
There
You're
you go.
done.
That's a name right there off the bat. And then they'll be taking on Ohio State Buckeye Gaming Club, OSU BGC, who are returning from last split, one of the few returning teams. And they actually made a sort of deep playoff run last time round. So looking to repeat some success a little bit more, though, this time.
Yeah, strong team coming off a 2-1 win. I'm a little biased against the Buckeyes, unfortunately, because I'm a U of M fan myself. My dad went to U of
Ooh.
M, so Wolverines, let's go. There's two U of M teams in the bracket as well, so I cannot wait for those games. If they do not get casted, I will file a very strongly worded letter to Matt and be a little bit upset, just a little bit. But IDK, of course, coming off the 0-2 loss from last week, so a little bit favorited here from BGC. They were the favorites from last season. IDK has a lot to prove, but it's looking to be a fun set.
Certainly will be a fun set. Now I'm kind of I don't know about you. You're probably not actually because I'm the one that just blew in from Stupid Town on this desk. I I get switched up with what patch we're currently playing on because we're doing like 13.1, but now we're doing 13.1 like B, and the switches between the two are certainly different. So I'm pretty sure we're on 13.1 B, which, if you're a fan of the LCS, I believe Captain Flowers dubbed the Death of Yumi
The
patch. So
death of Yumi. Yeah, that's all I know is it's the Yumi patch. Yumi's gone. Just
Yumi
completely
is
gutted.
honestly, that's fine by me. Sorry, more of a dog person. So that does bring a couple of other changes though that are a lot more interesting. A key one to look at is the crit itemization for a lot of those AD carries. The Navori Quick Blades and the Infinity Edge are now down to 40% for that critical strike chance, which makes the AD carry build path for a lot of these champions we may see play today a lot different and boosts a lot more of them up into higher priority targeting for this matchup.
Yeah, and Gangplank also. I know every time we talk about crit, we have to talk about Gangplank because that guy's always lurking in the shadows, waiting for his chance to shine in the meta. I'd love to see some Gangplank top, some Gangplank mid. I've been playing a lot of him personally. Maybe I'm just extremely biased. I don't know, but I love Navori Quickblades on Gangplank. I do love the things that they're doing for ADCs, shifting a little bit more power spikes into that role. Even though ADC is, people always say ADCs always complain about their lot in life, but do they really have it that bad? They seem to be doing pretty decently this season. Of course, there's power picks going on the mid with the cast and the rise, and top lane with the Kasante, the Maokais, the all that stuff that's coming out to kill them. But most of the games are kind of won or lost through like bot lane dragon control. A lot of these games that we are seeing, whoever is getting the dragons is winning the game. So, ADCs, you got a good this season. Just appreciate what you have.
You know what? I am an AD carry player. Now, am I hard
Okay.
stuck in gold? Plat? Elo? 100%. But I like to think I'm a little more rational here. And I do think AD carries don't have it as bad as they think. The only thing that I will ever get upset about is Syndra ultimate. If you ever get if you get ulted by a Syndra once she has enough shards where it's an execute below 15% HP, she literally just has to hit like maybe a Q, maybe a stun, and she can literally just kill you. So what did I do? What was my you want to know what my solution was, Mike?
I'm gonna say Crown of the Ruined King. Or sorry,
playing Syndra in the mid lane to get LP.
Crown of the Ruined King. I just combined two items
Yeah,
into one.
you just took Shattered. I think it's Shattered Crown of the Queen or something like that.
Crown of the Shattered Queen and Blade of the Ruined King. I just realized they're probably lore related, huh?
Maybe
it's like Ysolde and Viego. I just put that together. But anyways, talking about ADCs, we've been seeing a lot of ADCs in the support role, including Jhin. This is the perfect segue to this matchup because Jhin is probably going to be a very contested pick this matchup. Both of these teams love playing Jhin in ADC, probably can shift it into the support role. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that either getting picked or banned in basically every match that we have today.
there you go. I mean, it was only a matter of time before Mike brought his super genius outlook into this matchup. So I'm really interested to see how Jhin plays because we talk about the new changes to crit builds. Obviously, Jhin isn't a fan of Navori Quick Blades, but he is a fan of IE. So Does that pull him out of the support Jin play into lethality? Now back to that maybe fleeting footwork build path with the crit, make him a lot more viable because he can hit his power spike earlier. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Certainly interested to see how a couple 80 carries like Zeri also getting a big boost could play in, but we obviously aren't going to be the ones to break down the draft or, cast the game because we'd probably just sit here making SpongeBob references for 20 minutes. Shout out to the OG fans who picked up on mine. We still got one hell of a duo together here to take us through the game and the first draft. So let's throw it back to them. Lam and Crims, get us into game 1 draft.
Slayer, thank you for that juicy insight, and also big kudos to Slayer actually picking up that SpongeBob reference. But we got a few more references that we can throw in here. Crim's chocolate. Now, it might not sound as good just throwing it in there randomly, but we are through the picks and bans. That first is coming.
I like the way
faster.
Slayer did it a lot.
I like it too. He just it comes up that it's so natural for him. You know what? We all aspire to be Leo Slayer.
He worked it in a lot better. You just kind of
did. I just blur it out. I just say whatever. Doesn't it really have any?
That's your style, Lamb. We have to respect it. We gotta respect. So yeah. All right. Well, we have a draft to attend to, and Jin is gonna be banned away. I think they thought it was first pick potential. That does leave up the Ashe, and they could have went for the trade. Instead, they're just gonna go for the ban instead. Kindred is a nice ban as well. That is a very powerful champion, and of course, we have the Maokai ban. I mean, what kind of League of Legends game would it be without a Maokai ban, Lamb?
Well, even with those nerfs, it didn't really contribute to what makes Maokai such a strong champion right now. Those nerfs basically didn't do a whole lot for that champion. Still very viable, still prioritized heavily. And so it's understandable to see why it's banned away here now. Interestingly enough, the Ashe is picked up. That can be rotated, right? You can flex the Ashe, you can go support, which we traditionally see that mandate. Actually, there's a new feature that I kind of seen sailing through is Humos is usually a first item for the lethality Ashe in that support role. Maybe we'll see that, maybe we won't, but Caitlyn going to be returned. So pretty much that Jin being banned away as well. The guys we were talking before, the Jin would be a high priority for either or team here. Definitely falls into the champion pool of both the AD carries, and Varus being locked in here is not a bad pairing with the Ashe.
No, this is a really good combo. They have long range engage, but also can dish out the damage from a distance so they can pick you off and stay safe. The Vi going to add to that as well. So that's a really strong pick combo. These three here are going to be able to shut down any backline carry like this Caitlyn here and or a potential control mage coming up if they lock that in. So a lot of pick potential, very strong. They could really catch you up from a distance, and Varus has a nice execute on top of that as well. Poke Varus has been really resurging here, and it just has so much damage that you can apply before a team fight, and you can use it, very importantly, to control the lane. Yomu is going to be picked up on both of them if that's the case here, Lamb. And also, for the new AD carry supports, the Glaive is very strong at vision control. So interested to see if that's going to crop up here. Swain going to be making an appearance as a support champion, is also mid lane flex. They could be using that to its full potential right now, but otherwise, I think this is going to be Caitlyn Swain on the bot side, Diana jungle, and that might mean that they're going to be picking a very interesting mid lane champion, Lamb. I hope we're excited for that.
Well, it's an interesting pairing. Even when you have the Morgana, you have the Lux up that usually pairs with Caitlyn so well, right? You can get the combination, the lockdown, you put the trap under, and then you get the kill. Swain kind of makes that a little bit harder, right? You need to time the pull if you are positioning around those traps kind of thing. But Caitlyn, what she offer you so much more of? Objective control, right? The dragon is going to be a priority focus in that bot lane. But you could say that IDK here, they have a push in bot lane. Usually the Caitlyn is very one-sided down there, but the fact that they got the Ashe and the Varus can still be flexed to the mid, right? You can still get that on-hit Varus, you can get AP. There's a bunch of different ways that you can build this champion to suit the needs of the team. And I guess we're waiting on the rest of the draft here as those second phase of bans come through. Casanti taken away. We're not surprised by that, are we?
No, not surprised at all. Casante, very strong, is counterable now, though, so you can go for that style. They're going to ban the Morgana. Morgana kind of fallen out of favor in the bot side and is a champion overall, because she just doesn't offer as much lane control as something like a Lux or Karma can do. That being said, Varus is one of the champions you can pick into those Caitlyn combos to go for that contest, exactly what you're talking about. The Q max, if you go lethality, you'll get extra AD to also just burst the wave. So both of these AD carries with their, supports can really dominate that bot side. It's looking more like a Swain support every time a pick gets locked in here. That means that they're going to go for more of a kill lane style. They're going to try to do the root pulls into the Caitlyn traps, try to get some kills instead of the lane dominating. They're going to go for the kills control there. And with the Rise, they are kind of limiting in their range. Diana, Swain, Rise are very short range, so their siege is taking a hit. They have the Caitlyn to make up for that. And now I'm wondering where's going to be their frontline engage. They do have the Diana. They might need to pick up a little more as Cassiopeia is going to be providing that anti-dive, going to protect the Ashe Varus. I like what they picked here. Might give Swain a tough time. However, the Shen, wow. The Shen blind pick is a mystery to me. I think this is a very counterable champion. We'll see what BGC want to do with that one. But IDK, they have their comp locked in. Very strong pick potential. Backline defense, okay. Gangplank is going to be providing some of that engage. Not much the front line's going to be on the shoulders of Diana Swain. They're going to basically do that job together as a pseudo tank. Lots of damage coming out from BGC. They need to scale into it a little bit on the Rise and the Gangplank. But once those are unlocked, they're going to have a swell time in these team fights. Meanwhile, IDK, they're going to have the strength in the early game. They have the lane control on the bot side. If they get that going, that's going to be huge pick potential and damage, potentially splitting apart BGC before a fight even happens. They even have Shen onto the Vi, using that submarine technology there to get some really crazy engages. I like what IDK have brought to the table. BGC, they have a nice comp if things don't go their way early game. And now I'm just interested what Mike has to say. The big brains on the desk.
That's why we employ him at Risen, smartest man alive. Of course, no shade thrown to Slayer. He's just really good at those SpongeBob jokes. That's why we keep him around there.
Yeah, that's his main role.
That's his main
You see it, it's not Desk Host. He's not Desk Host on the Risen. He's
SpongeBob
actually,
enthusiast.
Yeah, he's actually listed as SpongeBob enthusiast. So
All right, yeah, that's certainly something that I'm sure you'll have some comments to say over it. But look, let's actually break this down a little bit more before we pass it over to the guys. So, I really like the Cassiopeia pick up here. I feel like picking up that champion, fighting on the miasma, is a great deterrent for like these close range combat. Diana, Swain, all going to be within arm's reach. Gangplank potentially as well, depending on those barrel
it's going to
chains.
be all of them, all four.
So yeah, well, I mean, Rise, he'll be running around with phase rush. You can say, maybe that might not be the ideal scenario for him, but they've drafted pretty good here, BGC, right? They've got basically no front line. They're all or nothing. Their big front line will probably be Swain once he has a couple items. And then he can just hit that R button. He can sit in the middle of the fight. He can heal up as best he can. But the one thing that IDK have here is they have distance to create, and they also have appeal factor, right? They got that Shen, they got the Vi, that delivery system for that Shen is going to be really easy if they need it. And of course, that Stand United going to be also important when it comes to the big team fights. But let's get a prediction going here, Crims. Who do you think is going to take this one?
This is interesting because I think BGC have the easier comp plan, as you're talking about. They have those team fighting tools. They kind of want to go for a steamroll style here. They don't really want an extended fight because they don't have that tank. So they're either going to roll over IDK in these team fights, or they're probably going to get choked out, controlled, and picked apart by the Ashe Varus Vi. Either they're going to get poked down or they're going to get picked off. So IDK, they have, in my opinion, a winning draft. But the key thing is here, they actually have to put in a better execution to pull it off and get the win. So who do I think is going to win? It's going to be a tough one for me. I think I like IDK's draft too much, so I'm going to go with them.
Okay, IDK. Do you know what, Crims? It's going to be a first because I'm going to agree with you. I do think that IDK,
okay.
yeah, that means we're both going to lose. So I hope we're prepared for that
No,
one.
you're right. This happens every time we have the same prediction. Why would you? Oh my, you're just cursing us.
That's exactly right. And do you know what? To continue the curse and to see who will come out on top after this one, we're going to get the thoughts of the big brain analyst desk. Might, Slayer, over to you guys.
Thanks, guys. Your resident SpongeBob quotes guy. I did one of them. I did one of them. No, I don't. I don't host Risen broadcasts. I don't cast League of Legends. No, I'm just the guy that they don't pay to come on here and make SpongeBob quotes. So I'm glad that that's my brand now. I'm very happy. I've been identified as that. Well, we have the draft in front of us, and I love how Lam did say that. Go back to the big brain analyst desk. The one diss they did throw at me is that I am not the big brain here. You are the big brain. So tell me what your immediate reaction is to a comp that I'm gonna deem as a pure chaos game for this initial one.
Look, it's team effort here, Slay. You gotta give yourself some credit. But I will say that the draft is pretty great. I love what I saw. The bans were basically perfect. Pranger getting taken off the Evelyn, the Jin, which was hotly contested, getting taken off the board. Just some strong meta picks in the Maokai. The Belveth is kind of like, maybe they were digging through some match history and they saw something weird there, but Pike's a great ban as well. In terms of the pickups, we saw Gangplank. Yes! I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see this Gangplank in action. Gangplank did receive a slight nerf to his ADC growth and his crit strike damage on his powder keg in patch 13.1b, but that was only because we are expecting him to increase in power because they are, like you said, the Navori Quick Blades now require less crit to turn online. So his 2-item power spike is going to be humongous compared to where it was before. So looking to be in a great spot here, the Gangplank pickup is. Also, Rise just been a meta pick. He uses Rod of Ages. He uses it well. That item's pretty good. Since Caston just got nerfed out of the meta, Rise has just kind of risen above. But I do want to look at IDK's draft here because we've got the Vi and the Shen, which is kind of like a classic combo, similar to like a Nocturne Shen, in some ways like a Evelyn Shen or a Shaco Shen, where you go like the submarine route. But Vi is a Shen delivery system right now, which provides for excellent dive, while they also have great catch with the Ashe and the Varus. While they also have excellent team fighting with the Cassiopeia and the Varus, depending on the build, IDK has all of their bases covered in their draft, but looking more towards a dive and catching composition. Whereas if we flip over to the other side, we've got what looks like a scaling and team fight composition. The Gangplank and the Rise are going to scale phenomenally. Caitlyn's going to be able to apply a lot of lane pressure. Swain has great catch, and Diana is, of course, that team fight powerhouse that can set up a lot. I love the Gangplank response to the Shen as well, because while the Gangplank isn't going to be as powerful in cross-map plays, he can at least throw the ulti down to potentially stunt the Shen whenever he ults, while also pushing the lane extremely fast. Look at that top lane for this Gangplank to be getting ahead whenever Shen decides to leave. I think that's where we're going to start to see a goal difference start to balloon, and that could potentially impact the results of this game. But all in all, I think it's a pretty even draft. I know our lovely casters, Crimson Lam, gave it to IDK. I'm actually leaning a little bit more towards BGC just because of the Gangplank. And I'm very partial. I'm going to just say I just love Gangplank, and I'm excited to see if this thing can pop off.
You know what? We're a united front here on the Analyst Desk because I also am giving it to OSU Buckeye Gaming Club here. I do think IDK have the draft, but I'm going to factor in the idea that this Ohio State University Buckeye Gaming Club squad is a team that is still majorly composed. I believe it is all 5, if not all 4 returning members from their squad in the fall split. So you bring across guys who've been playing together for a while. They obviously have the collegiate system backing them to a degree. And we saw they made a run in Dominate that prior time. So, I don't really need to talk too much about all the matchup of the draft composition because Mike had you covered pretty handily there. But the drafts are pretty similar. I like to call the Vi Shen combination the ninja delivery system. Like I used to call the Rakan Oriana duo the ball delivery system. It's now the ninja delivery system with this Shen. But I do think the scaling will give them, the edge later in the game. And I think a defined team like the Ohio State University Buckeye Gaming Club, it's such a mouthful, but I also still love it. We'll be able, they're enough of a refined team where they can sort of play back, play slow, and wait for these power spikes to come online. My main takeaway, though, from this game is screw Diet Dr. Kelp. If I'm up in the restaurant at the cashier counter, I'm saying frontline. Where's my frontline? I ordered a frontline, and I'm not getting it because this game doesn't have any frontline, and that's just kind of the chaos that is this current patch in State of League of Legends.
Yeah, there's no like dedicated frontliner. Vi and Shen build out some kind of tankiness, like off tankiness. Diana's probably going to go like the Sunfire Cape build that we've seen before, where like Diana built this pseudo tankiness. Swain is probably going to be like pseudo tanky, but we don't have like a Maokai or a Sejuani or anything like that. That's just like super chonky. But we do have some like off. So these fights are probably potentially going to be very, very explosive, which is great fun, great watching. I'm looking forward to the slugfest, absolutely. But yeah, I think we got a great game on our hands here. I'm excited to see it. And like you said, BGC, they're an established game. They've played together. Established team. They played together. They're already up 1-0 in the season. They're looking on a tear. So I really think that they've got this one in the bag.
Yeah, I'm certainly as confident with you, and I kind of like the idea of us clashing against Lam and Crims because that makes for a lot more fun broadcast. Also, they just reduced my entire career in esports casting into, hey, you're the SpongeBob meme guy. So, as
Brutal
funny
stuff,
as it
man.
is,
It's brutal.
it's brutal out here. You know, at least I'm tied to like an actually successful cartoon, unlike some of like I could just be tied to a random like Disney Channel show that like was terrible.
Oh,
But
no.
anyways, one show I know is not terrible is, you know, the first game we have here between Ohio State
Woo!
University Buckeye Gaming Club and IDK lmao. Still hate that name, but two names I don't hate: Lam and Crims, who are ready to cast game number 1. Guys, take it away.
F is for friends who do stuff together, Slayer. Yeah, I'm returning it, and you can't say anything about that one, Crims. That was on point. And of course, we know how much effort my man puts in, week out. He's a busy boy, and we are always dealing the pleasure of having him and Mike on the desk anytime we cast here, Crims. But we're in for an interesting one. The guys already highlighted that they are completely against our prediction, which makes sense because mine is usually wrong.
You know, it might not be the case this time because you're with me. Because you and me together here
Pull me up.
are going to be the ones correct this time around. And you know, I think we should use this downtime to just throw more shade at IDK lmao's name. I mean, I think I'm going to take every opportunity because if you guys don't put in any effort, then I'm not going to put any effort into shouting you guys out on stream. We need a name change, stat, something that sounds a little more, you know, a little more flair as the poke rains down. The two arrow champions just completely showering their opponents right now.
Oh, hear me out. Missy's Puffs Driving School. What a name that would be for a
Oh, you know, I guess we could get some vibes.
team. You could play Pike on it. You could play
Okay.
kind of running out. Nami's a good one. Shout out Mike. Nami. Getting our license for the boating would be great. I think we're going way off the topic here. But anyway, let's get back to the game.
You lost me. You lost me.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I was kind of just pondering my thoughts there as well, as everybody knows. So, this matchup in the top side, okay, so Shen, for me, I know you had a little bit of question about it, and I really like how Mike highlighted already that Gangplank received those buffs in the last patch there. And Gangplank has always been, for me, one of those champions that just wants to get through the early game, wants to stack up that passive, get additional gold income, and then becomes a huge damage threat going into the mid to late game. And what does Shen, I was going to say Thresh, what does Shen really offer in that sense of kill pressure? Well, right now, the way that this lane is playing out, not a whole lot, because your blade placement on Shen in the lane has to be on point. Otherwise, GP is going to sail through this early game unscathed.
He really has to set up the lane for the Vi to get that gank off, and they can put a lot of pressure onto GP. I think you have to abandon that plan once they're both level 6, because Shen's going to want to make global plays on the map, and then he can't really hold down the Gangplank effectively because he will start to win the 1v1. So if you're going to go for a gank, you got to do it early, but the plan is get bot lane ahead, and Corner is here first.
Yeah, and Swain, dude, bro, man, 13th in the lineage
Easy,
is going to give
easy.
over first blood. Really clean gank coming through from Vi. Interesting flash, though, because you're already dead there, and yet Swain still opts to use that flash to get into the alcove.
I guess you could say bait out the Vi flash, but yeah, you are correct. Probably should have saved it for a rainy day. Now you don't have it, and you're just going to get soaked the next time Vi comes around. So we have the mid visit from Pranger. They're going to get some control there. But so far, with this early lead, potential snowball in the bot lane is in the future. Top wave bouncing back around. So now Icy Oreo, this is going to be a potential danger situation. If Shen can get the lane in a right spot, get the freeze potentially as well, it's going to set up a nice gank for Corridorus. And they have the Vi pathing up there right now. So this is going to be a key point in the game. If they get this off, it's going to be huge. Otherwise, GP going to be happy with the current situation. Ward coming down, but they're going to know about it. So right now, we're at the edge of our seat waiting. Do they get this?
Another successful stack of Ravenous Flock for Dude Broman as he's on point with these never moves. I believe that's 2 and 2, even though the support has already fallen in this game. MK Beaver and Ruben, they're stuck at that turret. That lane kind of not going as planned, even with that gank coming around there. Frims, it's they're stuck in pretty negligible place there. DJ Vaporeon
It's just
pushing it in
they
over and
bounce
over again.
they bounce the wave, so it's coming back around. It's okay. They're gonna need a time to bail on the lane to get their items, but for now they are getting pushed in. The reset probably gonna come out from DJ, and we'll see if they can regain control on after both resets. Unfortunately, the money did go in the Vi, so not as good as it could be. So you do have a point there, Lamb.
Well, for this champion as well, Vi needs to get busy in the early game. We always say this, that it's really on a timer for the Vi to influence these lanes, because ultimately you just get left behind in that early game, and desperation kind of creeps into it. But so far so good for Corridorus in this game, as the Vi will return to Krugs there, and no place for that dragon already, because that bot lane very volatile. Like we said, it's pretty hard to see who's going to win that push. It's kind of evened out right now. And I believe that will be pushed back by DJ Vaporeon as well. So keeping tabs on the lane management, that's going to be huge. And in that mid lane as well, you're pretty even. The Rise is not a bad pick into the Cassio, and likewise the other way around.
Yeah, Cassio has the ability to dominate early with the poisons and in the laning phase. Rise, of course, can pump out team fight damage later. I did it for me, though. Getting all in. Icy Oreo might have the kill here.
He should have his dash up pretty close. I think I did it
No
for me. We'll
flash,
get
though.
out there. Gets the flash out with the GP. So
Okay, interesting.
5 minutes on that one. Overcommitment and didn't really get it, but it still forces Shen out the lane, even though he's got that CS lead right now. Looking to probably bounce that wave back towards the gangplank up there. Is having a pretty decent game so far. Like we said as well, that lane going the way that we think it would in terms of the GP sailing through that early game. Actually had the kill pressure on the Shen, and that's something that you don't want to see this early.
Yeah, the level 6 change around against Shen, very effective on a lot of champions, because your ultimate does damage, and Shen's does not.
Oh, Corridorus,
Oh, just
so
snuck right in
patient.
there.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really trying to hammer away at this bot side, and the ninja sneak right into the bush. Typically, something you see on other champions. Vibe is able to pull it off because of that pushed up wave and the management. That's going to lead to a dragon. Further secure control of the bot side. Again, though, Vi gets the kill. Unfortunately, does not go on the Varus. That's where we want to see it.
Good taunt in there. Remove Scurvy activated. Those oranges eat your fruits.
Oh, wait, Vaporeon.
Definitely gonna. Oh, he's in trouble. Exhaust goes down. We'll
Oh,
flash away and
cleanse.
get the
Wait a
cleanse.
minute.
That's a late cleanse to get out of that exhaust, actually. And that's going to be a kill secured by MK Beaver. Piercing arrow to the back of the neck there, and Vaporeon falls really freely. Honestly, shouldn't have really happened like that. But I want to go back to that Vi gank. So not having a ward in that third brush down there, very
hold up.
detrimental. As Cease and Desist comes out and gets the flash out of the Rise. Oh, they actually sent the Shen as well. That room prison brought Vi very close to falling in that mid lane. But going back to that gank in the bot side, Crims, the patience was excellent. And the way that they juked them out there, they sent MK Beaver actually to that river to clear out the wards. So Dude Broman thought that nobody's going to be here. Think again. Corridorus, 2 kills in this game and looking really busy in the early game.
That is one of the ways to get the gank. If you are pushed up fully or almost close to the turret as well, they don't have any vision. And now with the alcove, you can basically get a better sneak right into that bush unseen for that kill there. So Dude Broman is being set far behind on the Swain here, already 2 deaths, and now has the flash up, but DJ Vaporeon does not have any sum. So again, the ganks are unlocked on bot side, And I do have to think, once level 6 hits Lamb, the double ultimates from the Varus Ashe, I think that's a straight kill for the bot lane.
I think Ruben has to be close to getting that. Yep, that would be correct. Another couple
There it
minutes
is.
here. There
There
it
you
is.
go.
Level 6 achieved.
Ashe
Enchanted Crystal
ability.
Arrow, no way at all. Both summoners already gone on Vaporeon as the flash comes out. Oh, dude, bro, man, again, you called it Crimson. It just happens that quick.
Yeah, Caitlyn burns the net as well, so no acceleration of movement to dodge the arrow. Ruben had an easy shot, hits it, and they were going for double. They only get one bird, though, as they are continuing to cement their dominance here in bot side. Now, that does not come without a cost, Lamb, because this top matchup, we knew that it would be this way. Gangplank is getting away with a free lane. So far, no ganks spent in topside. And now Shen and Gangplank are basically even, which is a huge advantage for that GP. Already up 200 gold just based off the passive already. So that is not a good look for them. The timer is starting to tick for this game. IDK have a lead, but it isn't much for 4 kills. They have the dragon. They're going to need to start accelerating.
Arrow just came up for Ruben
Okay,
here.
here it
They
is.
snuck the Ashe into that
Acceleration play.
brush. Corin Doris, cease and desist. Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Cannon Barrage comes down to negate them, but
Nice.
it doesn't work. That lockdown is disgusting, and they make it look good.
All right, now the lanes are starting to breathe. Oh, here we go. Pranger does not get the engage. Corodonis Q's right out of there. As I was saying, they're starting to bleed into the other lanes. Now they can get the push up and bottom Lamb. Send Ashe to mid. And I don't think there's much its bongos can do.
Almost certainly not. And it might be under threat again here as Ruben makes that journey back down to the bot lane. And now 30 seconds. So already without the CDR, I mean, only the boots have been completed.
Here they
hold
go.
on, Swain in trouble, and that's the rotation from Ruben again, making it happen. Only connects with a volley. No Enchanted Crystal Arrow because it's not needed here, Crims.
The thing is, Swain is effective once he gets in range, but in this scenario, it's like an older brother is keeping him at bay while he tries to punch. And when in that situation, Swain is absolutely useless. Needs to get the pull-ins, needs champions that are short range to be effective. They're just bullying in this bot side now.
Well, Cassio gets a good trade there, but again, Vi 3 kills. The most important thing in this game is that Varus also has 3 kills. Eclipse is also going to be completed by MK Beaver. Is that enchantment? That's such a good remove, Scurvy, to get out with that one, because surely that would spell trouble. And the longer that distance the arrow has to travel for the Ashe, the longer you are stunned. So the fact that, you know what, Ruben is on point with all of these arrows so far is going to be detrimental to this team, because you have to try and keep tabs on the Ashe. And when you can't see her, that ultimate, it might be coming at you as Vaporeon goes low again.
MK Beaver has the Eclipse, so this is a huge lead. The Mythic complete, nice power spike. I don't think they want to fight, dude, bro, man. Was seconds away from death. Look at the CD on the chain of corruption, Lamb. I mean, you could call it calculated, or you could just say that is very risky.
Chancing it, that's for sure. The lockdown, I mean, we kind of I guess we overspoke about other things in this game, but the Varus and the Ashe is such a devastating synergy. The amount of chemistry, I mean, even if you've just got one ultimate, you use that, the cooldown reduction on both of them, they're going to be up pretty much all the time that they take a fight, and they'll get the second successful dragon of this game. And so far, IDK, even though everybody's kind of throwing shade at their name, they're making
they're doing it again.
Oh, they're delivering the Shen as well, the lockdown. Oh my god, taunted, stunned, every single word you can say. Petrifying Gate's going to go out, and that's first kill.
They're going
onto
deep.
the Cassio, gets second with a Twin Fang, resets, and that's Samuel getting 2 for himself.
All right, Prager just adding up on the detriments there. And look at this pick comp. They are playing it very well already from the side of IDK. They've been activated through those bot lane ganks. Ashe is roaming up mid. And now it's Bongo is taking an extra beating as well.
Oh,
MK
wow.
Beaver, does he have the 1v1? Looks like it was just about even. Should be able to negate to that ultimate there.
Oh,
Wow, okay. Vaporeon knew he had to go for it. He does get only a heal for a flash here. As if it's going to be tough. Beaver has the longer range and is stronger with the Mythic complete right now. is very accelerated.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
there it is
execute.
on the
There it is.
money. Snipe. That must be Chris Kyle out there. My God.
Chris Kyle. Okay. All right.
You like
As
that one?
we have, that was pretty good. That was pretty good, I have to admit. As we have Swain deciding, hey, bot lane's a loss. I'm just going to roam top, try to get GP ahead. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, Taunt was already used. Good flash from the Shen to get out with that one. Followed
Look
up by
who's
the Bag. Going to
here.
help out the top laner here. Dude, Broman made that roam up to the top lane. He'll pay with his life for that one. That commitment not paying off again for the Swain as he picks up his 4th death of the game.
Yeah, the Swain. I did not like this pick for that lane. I would have preferred the Lux or Karma for the better lane contest and control. And you can see what happens if you don't get control against the Ashe Varus lane. It's devastating. They're setting up a nice Rift Herald here. I think right now... Oh, here we go. They're going for the turn.
Lands,
the Chain of
Petrifying
Corruption.
Gaze lands as well. Pranger turned around, and that
Oh, it's a
was
double.
not where you wanted to turn around there. Vaporeon burning with the poison, and the second Shelly will go over this game. Vi picks up this time, and they're going to siege in that mid lane, and why the hell not? They're so far ahead right now, Crims. They're about 2,000 to the good, and they're trying to extend that, dropping the Shelly in that mid lane. Here we go.
Oh, they're going for the
Cease and
engage
desist.
after.
Swain, always the target, gets the flash again, and Corandoris has to flash over there too. A little bit interesting, scared that maybe the Rise is damaged even though he's only level 10, but they do drop the Cannon Barrage to kill that wave, and it just looks like they can't keep up with them here, Crims. The macro is on point, the picks are on point, they got a pick composition, and man, they're putting on a clinic.
It's looking good. 11-0. That is definitely a good stat line here. I have to say right now, GP is the only thing keeping them afloat. This game would have been a lot worse if not for that pick so far. I have to say, every time they burn Icy Oreo's ultimate on the Gangplank, that is one mega teamfight opportunity that gets blown for about a minute. So forcing out the GP ult is very good. They can play around that. They're going to have an excellent time snowballing this game. Already 3 objectives in a row. They have the turret in mid lane down. They didn't get the bot turret down just yet. I'm sure that's going to fall soon. Looking at the clock, 1 minute and 20. If they get 3 dragons in a row, we can say good night to GCU.
You can say good night down there in the ball lane as DJ Vaporeon tries to walk away. Just impossible once that Cassio catches you. Great pick from Samuel.
Oh, man. All right, Buckeye Gaming University. You guys are looking like you need to make a play soon. You got to avoid this Varus and Ashe. You have to make a play around your GP. There is no other hope of victory at this point. Mid lane has been set behind too far, and bot lane is a lost cause here. Do not even think about a play around this Varus Ashe. It's Bongos is going to get rocked here if that arrow did hit. Meanwhile, topside Shen just chilling and farming up. I mean, they've bought so much time. I mean, this GP needs so much to carry this game.
It's almost desperation coming through, right? They keep trying to get something in that top side, but the problem is now that Shen has Jack Show completed, it makes it even harder to actually kill him. And now the Swain is so far behind anyway, so roaming him up there doesn't really do anything, right? The Shen can disengage that, he can get a double taunt and just leave. So, oh man, Prang are in trouble here. They're going to get the Stand United through as well and commit everything because that dragon is up. Ace No gets body blocked and Ruben will stay healthy. Cannon Barrage was dropped very early to disengage that fight. So probably no chance of a steal here, Crims.
Yeah, they have full control. Gangplank has side lane pushed in, so they're sacrificing a turret. So trade not too bad. Pranger does deed and die. And now the 3-0 dragon sweep. This is going to set up a very nice 4th dragon fight to potentially win the game, or just a straight free take with that soul. That's going to offer them tons of durability. And guess what GP does not like, Lamb?
Apples.
Yeah, you're right. He does prefer the oranges. No, he hates durability and shields. You are... Where'd you come from? Stupid Town? Anyway. Let's go ahead.
There we go. We're getting rolling here. Do you know what's rolling as well? That Enchanted Crystal Arrow on the money again. And dude, bro, man, I keep saying it, but he falls again. It just is easy pickings for Ruben in this game.
I mean, could be an excellent Swain, but the thing is, into this comp is not a good pick. As maybe should have flexed it in that mid lane. Maybe didn't like that matchup. It's turning out to be, the Swain pick's turning out to be extremely detrimental. So they're going to have to rethink that in game number 2 for sure here. Surprising is all the control that they have. But look at this gold lead, 3K. I mean, the money printer doing money printing things should start to get investigated by the IRS at this point. Because where's this money coming from? It's got to be illegal.
Illegal things are happening, and it's just one of those things that basically now, if you are Ohio, you're trying to take a kill because the perfect game goes through, the mental is in the gutter, and now they're going to pick on Icy Oreo. That teleport comes in way too late, but Pranger will back it up. Samuel under threat, he go down here, and Assault Barry comes back on Corridores. He's so tanky though, as that Rune Prison lands for a second. And Rise and Diana running this one down, but look at the bot lane. Shan Virus coming out here is Dude Broman understands that. And that's going to be a taunt back on the Pranger. He will dodge that for now, but you see that bot lane just collapse and kill the Swain. They turn the switch again, and IDK's perfect game is still online as that Baron is going to be the focus.
Oh, this is an absolute slaughter. 17-0 is a crazy kill score here. And this is starting to hit the level of mental damage. And I'm talking extreme concussions of the mental kind here. As this game is making it feel almost hopeless. In this game number 2 coming up. They do finally punish the Gangplank, who, by the way, is just up 2K purely off the CS and GPU passive here. So just showing that ability to launder that money off this Gangplank. I mean, he's a pirate. Of course he's a criminal. As they're just getting more advanced these days.
I mean, pirates weren't too advanced. It was pretty obvious if you've seen a
well,
pirate.
Well, no, he's the new age pirate. You know, they have to adapt.
Okay.
They have to adapt to the new times, you know.
SpongeBob, pirates, boats, ocean, it's all happening today, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, is this game... they're probably trying to close it out here as that arrow just goes wide. Otherwise, Pranger is probably dead there, but the threat of a dive is up there in the top side.
Oh, double miss.
Flash, it's not going to matter. Icy Oreo set up on a plate. They're so tanky, they can run them down for days. As I did it for me, ends up tanking the turret. The cannon barrage comes down, but it's still not enough to keep the GP alive. As now Pranger getting forced out of his own jungle. Look at Ruben right in the face of Diana. Is there anything worse? Chains of corruption. There you go. Doesn't even move. Knows he's dead. And the siege will continue. Action again in the top side. Swain, Dude Broman trying to get it. Okay, ace in the hole.
Oh, nice
Vision
block.
Empire, body block, flash forward, Ruin Prison. This could be the perfect game in jeopardy. They get one back. It's bongos, but the bot lane is here. Then Caliber net across the wall. The Krug's going to help out. See you later, Caitlyn, as she will live for now. But the perfect game is over. FF right now.
Yeah, they should definitely surrender because they just ruined everything completely. Now everything is going to turn around. They're going to lose this game. It's all hopeless. GP is going to scale up, all because they gave over 1 kill to the Rise.
Wow, look at that. Wave clearing ability of Icy Oreo. So good, but such a shame that the GP's kind of been strangled out here. Hasn't had a whole lot to do this game, and really now he's paying the price for the way that that bot lane has gone. 10 deaths just in that bot lane alone. You can see how much focus that Corindores put down there, and as soon as MK Beaver and Ruben got level 6, it was all but over.
Especially when DJ Vaporeon had no sums. I mean, the punishing of the sums was very effective down there. And then that's just the control of this Varus Ashe. We're seeing it in full effect. It's hard to compete with, especially with map control like this. So we're just going to be waiting for IDK to close out this game. As, I mean, they're just going through the steps here. They're going to be picking up the Soul. That's a GP ult wasted, in my opinion. Definitely need that for fights that are coming up. You're not going to get the steal against Smite unless, I mean, there's no way your ult does 1,200 damage all of a sudden. Oh no, dude, bro, man. No, dude, bro, man.
Oh my god, it's just so good. Vaporeon just outside of the petrified gaze gets slowed down regardless. Good barrel chain from Icy Oreo actually to get damage onto Samuel. Might be the next focus, and it's bongos. So the rise could be a problem here because you need to cut him down pretty quickly. And the ability that he's got, especially with that phase rush, is going to be tricky customer to lock down. But they are waiting for that wave now, as the
Oh,
Baron
look at the
has timed out
poke.
as well. And you feel like this siege, it's not going to go very well if they don't get the barrel chain off, and GP gets it off again. Not enough minions though, they're just going to brute force it, and why not? Corindores waiting around actually cancels the Q there, and I did it for me, going to get the Spirit's Refuge out, and the arrow sails through the whole team and doesn't catch anybody. And they got what they came for, they got that turret, but they didn't get the inhibitor, so that's got to be a win right now for Ohio.
Well, they did get that turret for not much, though, Lamb, for the side of IDK. And Samel onto the gravity on Pranger was just delaying that engage. What a very good use of the Cassiopeia here. They're just really keeping them at arm's length, utilizing all their champions very well. Cassiopeia keeping them at bay, while the Varus Ashe poke down for free. And then they have the Vi Shen engage whenever things go a bit south in the, you know, the ranging department there, that distance management, as they would say in the UFC. And, I mean, you know, this is just very technical from the side of IDK, and they're playing it to a
They're
T.
waiting for GP right now. If he comes out of that lane, Vi is here.
Oh, he just goes right in.
Oh, he already knows that he's there. He will go 1v1 against the GP. He knows Corindores is here. And GP goes up, and they're going to knock him out right there. Goodbye. Take down him again. It feels so bad for Icy Oreo in this one. Hasn't done a whole lot wrong, but man, they just keep making him pay. They can literally move this Vi wherever they want. They can pick on whoever they want because the lockdown potential and the damage that's coming out from this Vi now is so good for them. And what a performance so far from Corindores.
Yeah, usually Vi's do no damage. It's just all utility. Has opted for the Divine Sunder and the Black Cleaver. So with the passive as well, can definitely take a chunk out of your armor and lend to lots of burst damage. Enough to kill a Gangplank as well. So now we're just waiting for this Baron to turn up here. And speaking of the ocean, and I'm not going to talk about the
that
Baron
big shrimp.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Yep.
I think that one's done. Can we just throw that one away, Lamb?
No,
I think
it's
been
never going to be
overused.
forgotten. It's always going to be that big ass shrimp that appears. If that's a shrimp, then what is
Okay.
Shelly?
A crab.
What? But shrimp's smaller than a crab.
It's a big shrimp. What do you want me to say?
It's a mantle shrimp.
A mantle
not-
shrimp.
Yeah.
It's a
mantle
void shrimp. I don't. I mean, okay. You tell me what it closest looks like.
I don't know. That's who's winning this game.
You know who? You know who also went? It's looking really good for our predictions, by the way.
I was just about to say that. Hey, Mike Slayer, how's those predictions?
Yeah, how's it
sitting right
going,
now,
man?
dude?
How's it going, guys? It's looking really good from our point of view. Maybe your perspective is a little blinded right now. As Pranger looking for an angle. They have the GP cut
Pranger
off
gets
completely.
caught out, and they'll get the Stand United back onto the jungler. The Vi just doing all the damage there. Is that Cannon Barrage going to separate the rest of the team in that top side? Exhaust going to be dropped onto the Rise. They will pick him off as well, and this looks like it's going to be it. The final nail in that coffin is dude Broman trying to get away, and he will get picked off again by, you could arguably say, this game one's MVP in Corindores. They break open that top. They're looking to shove it in even more. At the very least, they're going to get an inhibitor here.
They're keeping it clinical. You know, at this point, we might just have to shame I Did It For Me just for the one, you know, the one mess up on the entire team.
I would have FF'd.
Yeah, maybe they should just sub out their top winner. Obviously underperforming here. I mean, just look. Everyone else has a gold bounty, and we don't really want gold bounty on support. So Ruben's doing a great job there. So yeah, it's really just I Did It For Me letting down the team. And with a name like that, selfish player, you have to consider subbing him out.
I mean, even if you don't have a substitute, you still have to make that call, right? Because that one death so far is put the dampener on this game. Because other than that, this game has been flawless. But since you died, I guess we just throw everything back to the drawing board. Like, you need to get better. Just do better. If your team's going deathless throughout the whole game, especially in Ashe support, come on. Ash support never goes deathless, and the fact I might jinx it actually. We won't say that too much right now. But the saving grace that Ohio have here, OSU, they have Icy Oreo. He's still scaling up. He just completed that Prowler's Claw as well. So those crits are going to be something to be respected. But is it enough to actually turn the game? I don't know. We're about to find out. Oh, arrow lands onto the
Chain
AD
of
carry.
Corruption.
Chains of Corruption. Jane's
Oh,
going to
the
land.
flank.
3-man taunt from Shen. That did it for me. Did it for the team. Double kill on the Cassiopeia. Twin Fang will slow down his bongos. He turns around and gets wiped. It's now GP fending for himself. 1v1 against Corridorus. He does have the damage to take down the Vi. He gets the Vi, and it's no longer I did it for me's problem. He's not going to get substituted anymore because his jungler shares the blame, and now they're onto those Nexus turrets.
I say kick both of them as the final turrets are going down. And Might, I mean, big brain as he is, was not able to predict the outcome of this thing. And you know what? Both of us together, Lamb, we are better than one. Slayer obviously not contributing at all to the brains of the day. I'm just flaming everyone. You know what? If I'm bored, I just flame people, Lamb.
Yeah.
I'm just, apparently.
What a pastime that is. If I'm bored, I'm just going to flame somebody. Oh, that's great. That just goes to show the depth of talent that we got on Risen. We got people who will just cuss you out for whatever reason. Like, it's hard to even say anything positive on the flip side to that for Ohio. But the one, I want to go back to it. The one thing they did have was Icy Oreo doing so much in the top lane for himself.
Yeah.
I did it for me. It really made it hard for the GP once it was, comboed with that Vi. And as soon as Corridorus, I mean, the Black Cleaver actually completed the Maw towards the end of that game. Very rich jungler, really snowballed the game. And it's not always the case when we see a Vi locked in that they carry the game like that.
Yeah, Cardonis knew where to gank, and they set him up perfectly on the bot side. There's so much control, leverage, and the repeat ganks just hammered Dubroman into the ground, and they were able to coordinate with Ruben. I think that was really what set them to a very good start, was the Ashe coming up mid lane and getting the ganks coordinated onto the Rise. Just made it seem like Rise couldn't do anything, and I think that was the case. I do want to point out before we keep singing the praises of IDK, because they do need, I mean, maybe they should change the name a little bit to, We Gank Bot or something like that, because that's better than IDK, right? I mean, something.
As we let Crims decide on what he's going to name this other team, we're going to head to Bikini Bottom, where Slayer and Might is standing by to break down this game.
I've created a monster.
Yep. Dr.
I
Frankenstein.
didn't mean to do this, man. I didn't mean to do this. First of all, I need to get some things off my chest here because we're apparently just getting roasted. You can make fun of me all you want, Ribs and Lom, but don't you dare come after my Might. You leave him alone. Okay? You can make fun of me. Don't Might. It's my fault that his prediction was wrong because I predicted that OSU would win it, and then he did it as well. So definitely didn't do it the other way around. Anyways.
Oh my lord, you're too humble, Slayer.
Getting back to the game. That is single-handedly I don't care if I'm wrong. That is the most one-sided game in Dominate history. I don't know how else to phrase it.
I put all my eggs in the Gangplank basket, and to be fair, Icy Oreo did pretty decently in that top lane. He was like, I believe, like Crimson Lom said at one point, he's like the floodgates right now. They were down like 10 kills, and it was only a 2k gold difference. Like 10 times 3, that should have been a 3k gold difference. But Icy Oreo was like kind of holding back the floodgates there for a little bit. But there's only so much one man can do when the rest of the map is going to absolute hell in a handbasket. But Corridorus on the Vi, oh my gosh. He said, welcome to the Salty Spittoon. How tough are you? I'm nails for breakfast. I'm getting back on it. I'm getting back on it. We're not done with it yet. But he just went from lane to lane to lane, brawling, punching his way, doing some karate. Oh my gosh, I'm on a roll right now. But Corridorus just like, so he just ping pong bot mid, and the gank follow-ups there from Cassiopeia, just being able to put the miasma down. It was just brutal. Like, what do you even do in those situations? And then once you leave it to Beaver, MK Beaver, just getting left in the bot lane along with Ruben to just set up the kills themselves. It just took a little bit of a push. Couple kills there from Corridorus. He set his lanes up for success. He set the entire team up for success. So my eyes are on Corindorus right now.
Yeah, I know you didn't realize my, but when you started making the jokes, I actually got up and left, and then I came back. I luckily have wireless headphones, so I heard everything you said. I'd like to apologize to not the fans, because the viewers love this. I'd like to apologize to Matt specifically for derailing Dominate into a SpongeBob meme fest. He's probably not actually watching, but if he is, I'm sorry. But yeah, I actually want to go back to one point you made quickly, because
Yeah.
the kill department made it look like like it had to have been like a 20k gold lead, but it's crazy to me that it was 30-2 in kills and it was only a 10k goal lead. Now 10k goal lead is
Yeah.
huge, but 30-2 in kills,
Yeah.
and it was closer than you thought it was. Anyways, regardless, before we go to break here, I want to ask you, if you are the Ohio State, Buckeye Gaming Club here, how do you respond in game 2? Do you just like goldfish memory, forget that just happened?
I think you ban the Vi. I don't think you need the Belveth ban. The Belveth is not going to enable as much as that Vi just enabled. So I think you just ban the Vi. And then if they do decide to play another catch and pick comp like that, you draft some like Peel. So you draft like a Jano or a Lulu or something like that and get ready to like absorb the engage. I think if they make those adjustments, they'll be good to go.
Well, we're going to figure out if they make those adjustments after a break. On the other side, we'll have the King Predictors after one game. Calm down, Hotshots. Lam and Crims breaking down the Game 2 draft. So don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Welcome back, everyone. Yeah, I'm kind of gobsmacked. We just got thrown in there after just
Yeah.
having a really intense SpongeBob discussion.
Yeah, Slayer's
Um,
trying to throw us off,
yeah,
but I think we're gonna
that's right.
recover here.
No, it successfully worked. I can tell you that much. Because I lost my train of thought completely.
There
But
we go.
Crims, it's all to do for Ohio here, right?
Yep,
We don't want to
OSU.
see that traditional Ohio gameplay, right? Anything from Ohio is questionable. We certainly want to see
Okay.
something a little bit better coming out here, but we're into these bans right away. And does this Ash go over? That's the biggest question because she's not going to be banned away as far as we can tell. They're focusing heavily on that jungle, taking away the Maokai again. Very understandable. Amumu, yeah, the Vi is going to be locked in
Oh.
for BGC. So already they're going to take that jungler away. That early game prowess gone, but the Varus and the Ash is still available.
Oh, the Varus, Ash, and Jin as well. Someone's probably gonna get one of these three at least. At a bare minimum here, IDK. They're thinking about their options. They're gonna pick up the Ash. Used it so well. Ruben seemed like a master on the champ. Are they gonna pair it with the Jin? Can do what Varus can do. Just a little more utility based, not as much damage, more range, of course, on the ults there. So they can do a similar style, not necessarily needing to change anything up. And it looks like they agree with me there. So Ash Jin, that contested pick that Might was talking about, going to be locked in here as we have the Seraphine
Oh,
Senna.
Senna.
Uh,
Fasting
I'm not a
Senna again?
fan. I'm not a fan of this bot lane. I feel like you just get absolutely blasted by the Ash Jin. They're just gonna pick you apart. They're gonna be CCing you. They're gonna be slowing you. They're gonna be rooting you. And if a jungler ever comes by, that's so much utility to pick up the kill. So much gank assist there. So I'm hoping Seraphine is probably flex mid lane. We will see as IDK. I think they're gonna lock in their jungler here. They're running down the clock, and
Oh,
it's an
that's 2 for 2.
Ivern.
That's 2 for 2.
Wow.
Get out. Let me see your friend request. Let me get out of these guys' DMs telling them what to play so your predictions come true here. This is ridiculous. 2 for 2. All right, let's talk about it. So Senna to me, as far as I can recall, until the very first day that she was brought out and she was so good at that scaling, even for a couple of times through pro play, now just screams, bring your jungler down here and kill her over and over again because her mobility is terrible. Her lockdown potential, yeah, there's a longer cooldown on it compared to a Nash Jin. And going into that lane, I mean, they're going to trade very heavily, but the Seraphine, you back that up. She needs time. And then Senna as well. I don't see how this is going to pan out for them, Crims.
Yeah, they're completely seeding bot lane if they go for this. Seraphine has heals, Lamb, but the thing is, she needs time to scale into being effective with the heals. Both of them have that capability. They're going to try to weather the storm. I don't think it's going to be possible. That being said, Ivern not the best diver until level 6 with the ultimate there to get Daisy to tank. So they can probably hold lane into 6. But I mean, look, once level 6 is activated for IDK, I think it's going to be an absolute massacre as soon as that happens. And they're not going to be safe. They're going to need this Vi. They're going to need Pranger's attention pretty much the entire time to survive.
Well, having the Vi taken away is something that's good here because, of course, why would you not run this back if that Vi was up for contention? And Kisanti actually banned there as well.
Okay,
So
GP
that's that.
gone. I
Yeah,
mean,
good,
that's a
good,
good one.
good takeaway. Yeah, so we're not going to see Icy on that GP anymore, which I know Mike's going to be a little bit sad about. Mike, we tried, we got Crims in their DMs telling them what to play, and they still don't want to do it, so it doesn't really matter. But Viego,
Okay.
interesting pickup here. Now that Viego, solo laner Viego, because there's an Ivern in there as well.
I think Ivern might be going mid lane here, which is going to
What?
be quite interesting. I don't like solo lane Viego, mainly because you don't really get usefulness out of the fog that you can do. Maybe in top side you can, but in the mid lane, I'm not really a big fan. So they have the Viego. I think Ivern might be going mid. A little bit of a support style for
Aurelia.
some male this time. Aurelia does play very well into the three champions locked in. Ash, Jin, Ivern can get in there, get the kills. So I'm thinking IDK, they have some Ivern peel. They're going to need a little bit more for their backline to be safe. As BGC, I think they should really lock in a tank, but they already have the Irelia. So that's going to be front line to bounce the Seraphine off of.
Syndra.
And they're going to send it up top side. So that really is not mid. It's going to be top. And now they have the Syndra. Again, they have a bit of weird comp. They operate off the burst damage. Again, they like going for this style. They want to steamroll the fights. But the thing is, look at the scaling that they have. Seraphine, Senna, Syndra. I mean, and the bot lane's going to be so abusable here. I'm not a fan of what BGC can do. Of course, Vi can shake things up and turn that all around. Oh, man. Okay, I guess you called it Viego top. That is, maybe you're taking a little peek at the pools here, but I'm not a fan.
This is a skill matchup. I don't know. Viego going into the top side. I mean, Viego is still a good champion in these big team fights because he can get the resets. The Heartbreaker can go crazy, of course, if you get them low enough to execute them. The other thing that is really good for IDK here is, of course, you touched on it already, that bot lane is going to be so potent. Again, we don't get a Varus this time, we get a Jhin, and that's something that is going to pair really well once it comes to these big team fights because Ivern can provide some sort of lockdown, right? Daisy will be roaming around trying to get something, and of course, Jhin can stun up from afar with Deadly Flourish, and he can bring up that curtain to make things extremely interesting. Then you got that scaling mid laner. They can go even with the Syndra. Syndra will have that priority in the early game as she normally does. She's very controlling. She's a control mage for a reason, and she's usually used to round off compositions just like this, Crims. But again, question marks for me over the Senna. I don't really get this champion right now in the meta. I feel like there's so many better champions that you can pick up as an ADC or even an AP carry. Of course, she is probably going to go to the support role, and they'll do that fast in Senna. And Seraphine will be the main contributor to that bot lane as well. So again, they give up priority very early on in the draft here in IDK. They got to be feeling good about that because their traditional win condition in that first game was the bot lane.
It's going to be completely unchanged as well. They have the strength in the bot lane. And now with this comp running through bot, it's going to be even easier against the Seraphine. I'm mixing them together.
Seraphine.
Seraphine. I mean, we could call it, Seraphine sounds like a nice name, actually. So the Seraphine not going to do well into the Ashen.
Okay,
into
the
Ashen
Slay
here.
Fire will have
As,
some of the No, it's not a Slay.
no, it was
Slayite.
Bonner. It was Bonner. Oh, you're Slayite in this one.
Slayite. Yeah, there we
Or
go.
it could be Myrrh. That's terrible. Meyer? That's terrible. Whatever. All right. I think here IDK, they have they won through this same exact style last game. They have it set up here again. Ivern also can assist the picks. Viego as well. Victor going to be doing pretty much the same thing Cassiopeia, except more damage heavy, not as much zone control. Does have the field, the gravity field to do that. Into the Syndra here is going to be decent lane. So I think IDK, they got a really good lead last time. I think they're set up for it this time as well. And man, when they have control, it is lights out for their opponents.
So who wins this game?
I think it's IDK again. I mean, they have the OP Ashe and they have their prize Jhin pick here. I'm really thinking they're going to win through the same strategy.
I concur. I agree with my colleague, but I just got word in. That's right, baby. We got two individuals sitting in the chum bucket line. We're going to send it back over to Might and Slayer. Oh, cancel me. Take it away, guys.
Disgusting.
I
Disgusting.
don't know how to react to this anymore.
You did this, Slayer. This is your baby.
I made one joke.
You've done this to us.
Okay. Well, Mike. Our credibility is a little bit on the line here. As, we do have IDK playing having a little bit of fun, pulling out the Ivern top.
Yep.
Which should be very interesting. That's the immediate reaction. You see Ivern top, but it's kind of like a little bit of a fake out in my mind. Might they run the Ivern top maybe to like pull attention? Oh my god, look, they're gonna run an Ivern top, and they're still getting that they're getting that Ashe in the bottom lane with that hard CC for the pick ability, and then they put Jhin with her, which is a more comfortable AD carry for their marksman player, and kind of still brings the same sort of distance CC that can be paired with Ashe very well. So, how are you feeling about this draft with the IDK side and maybe the response from the Buckeye Gaming Club after the worst loss in Dominate history?
So I think Jhin is just like Jin is the linchpin of the matchup. That's why we saw it banned in game 1, and now that IDK gets to pick it up, that's like what they wanted to play with the Ashe. You know what I mean? They picked the Varus because it's like, okay, this is second best Jin. They wanted to be playing Jin, and now they're like, oh, we have an even stronger bot lane that we already dominated your bot lane with. Now I will say that Viego in the jungle isn't going to be as effective at like setting up early game ganks, so they might not be able to get that initial push that Corrin was able to hand over last game. So it could be a little bit different, but the bot lane is still looking heavily in the favor of IDK right now. While I personally like Senna as a champion, I like her like design. I like the way that she looks. I like her kit as well. She is a little bit squishy. She is a little bit weak. She is just arrow bait basically. She eats an arrow, catches a W, curtain call opens up, and then it's just like you're dead from 10,000 miles away. There's not a whole lot you can do to stop that from happening. So, I mean, overall, I think IDK have the edge in the draft, but we're seeing something that we didn't see before, which is Icy Oreo was on Aurelia. And I think this matchup, the Aurelia into Ivern matchup, like Aurelia just runs all over that, right? So we could potentially see a game where instead of Icy Oreo like holding back the floodgates, gets into like 1v9 status carry mode, is able to actually run through fights. Because Gangplank, when he's ahead and he's like fighting, he can't really get into the fight. He has to like put barrels on the outskirts, like try to barrel combo into the fight and then catch somebody to like half HP them, right? Aurelia's like, nah, for Ionia, throws in her blaze and just starts dashing all over the place. Like, you have to deal with me. Like, I'm in your face. I'm not trying to one-shot a carry. I'm trying to kill your entire team and lifesteal while I'm doing it. So there's something to be said there for the BGC draft. I just wish they would have drafted a, like, if that Senna was a Sona, like if it was surfing Sona and they just are like playing super safe, like Giga Peel, disengage, we're just gonna like make it happen for Icy. I think that's like more so the vein that you want to be in. But because they're kind of being like a little bit wishy-washy about like, oh, we kind of do want an ADC, but we want to be supportive, so Senna's like a good compromise. I think they might end up getting bit in the foot for that one.
Wow. Very intriguing
That's the
stuff,
breakdown.
nonetheless. That was a great breakdown, and I actually do like the Buckeye Gaming Club comp a lot more than their last time. I agree, Senna Seraphine, it gives me, it gives me like summer 2022 vibes of League. Like you tried that Enchanter bot lane, the Enchanter Death Ball, which can still work. It's just a little bit more handicapped. I'm personally a big fan of these solo lanes for the Buckeye Gaming Club because you already talked on the Aurelia, but I think its bongos on this Syndra is going to be in a very good spot that if this game, doesn't repeat game 1 and they can hold some sort of semblance into the mid game in the gold department, they can even be down. But if this Syndra hits the point, that shard point where she can execute people under 15% with unleashed power, she hits her item power spikes, there's not a target on IDK that can't get 0 to 100 by the Syndra. And that's before, and that's even not even factoring out how her abilities, if she's fed and scaling up, will also do tons of damage towards a really not that tanky team. Ivern might end up decently tanky, but outside of him, Viego's going to go pretty damage heavy. Victor as well, and Jin, Ashe, all on top of that. Quickly, though, let's get our predictions out. I'm going with the Buckeye Gaming Club purely to spite our casters.
I think I have to give it to IDK. I think the Jin is going to be the thing that turns this matchup into a into a thing. So I'm sorry. I'm going to have to divert course here, and I'm going to say 2-0 IDK. I think they got this one.
I'm just gonna go listen to songs about being alone while this game goes on.
I'm sorry, Slayer.
No, it's fine. You're the logical one. I go on emotion, and now I'm completely going on emotion here. So it looks like we do have the game set though. So let's go back to our two casters for game number 2. Crims and Lam. Cram, take it away.
Oh no, I don't like that one.
All hell is going to break loose after this broadcast, let me tell you. Crims, why are you the main character? Why am I just the ending of the sentence? Thanks so much for that, Crims. You were muted.
Hold up here. Hold up. Okay. I was speechless. I'm hearing this word cram. Look, here's the deal. All right. I'll give you a trade-off. With our duo casting name together, I'll be in front, but we can be Lamb and Crims. I'll throw you a bone for once in my life, a 50-50 deal. What do you say, Lamb?
Let's shake on it.
Okay, we're gonna shake on it through the internet as we are talking about this game
How
here.
awkward can we make this? I wonder.
We could add more awkward pauses. Mission accomplished, I would say.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There you go.
Let's get back into this. Oh, everybody's like, what the hell is going on with these guys? It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
All right.
So this is, as the guy said, this is an Ivern top. Who's seen that coming? I didn't. They've ran it before, and I did it for me. We've seen them very comfortable on that Shen. Stand United came in on time, but this is a different champion. Doesn't really have that global, but you do have a big behemoth in Daisy. I mean, she's a cute behemoth. I mean, Colin, I don't know. It's a
Yeah,
mythical
she's a golem.
creature. Yeah, golem. Yeah,
Yeah, you know, we're just getting all creatures all mixed up today.
all creatures are
As,
great and small.
Yeah, great and small. As I mean, look, I did it for me. Seems to be the biggest team player in the entire game. So someone needs a name change. As we are going, this bot lane getting pushed in. Seraphine Senna, the Seraphine lane getting pushed in as
Oh
predicted
God,
here.
don't keep this up.
I think that one rolls off the tongue. We
That's
could get-
actually pretty good.
Yeah, let's keep that one. All the other ones, they're gonna have to go. But the
Okay.
Seraphine one, we're gonna have stay here. I see Oreo playing into the Ivern. Apparently, Lamb. Ivern wins this matchup if you are a follower of the Church of LS here. As Ivern wins every lane. I'm just kidding. I don't know. Viego going for invade, has top pushed in, so that's actually a good sign. Samel's moving over. This could be absolutely blowing the game open at 3 minutes in. Pranger, do you sense the danger?
Yeah, that was such good passing actually from Viego. We'll get in with a spectral
Oh,
maw,
it's
sets it up and
beautiful.
gets first blood, and he's going to get assistance from Samuel. Great communication. He come across there in the blue side, and he set Pranger behind. So much already. 3 minutes into the game, you see that big trade in that ball lane, the power of the Jin and the Ash, and you can see why this duel has to be respected as well.
IDK, they're so good at the level 3 setup there. They knew that was gonna happen. The Victor pushed up. The Ivern, of course, is ranged. Can poke out the Irelia early, and she doesn't have enough to all in. So beautiful setup. They executed. They know Vi's weak. Level 2, level 3. Pretty much not a champion in her own right. As bot lane here, continuing to prove that poke dominance. They're trying to heal it up. I'm seeing a lot of pings. Pranger doing the anger invade. Might get punished here. That's going to be a 0-2 potentially.
Well, he is going to get collapsed on by Ruben as well. But Assault Barrier is right away. Gets away. Actually, it's not Assault Barrier, it's Vault Breaker. I always get mixed up since they changed all the names.
It's not even
Vi's
it's
kit.
not even assault battery anymore, Lamb.
Well,
It's
that was
cease and
the
desist
ultimate. It was cease and desist. That's the new
now.
ultimate.
Yeah.
Understandably, why? Right? Let's not get away from that. It's very
I mean, is it?
interesting
I mean,
choice
Vi
of
is
words.
not supposed to be like a straight up good person. You know, she's supposed to be
True.
brutal. So I thought
True.
assault and battery kind of makes sense.
Well, that first game, it definitely showed that Vi can be brutal, especially when Doris is piloting that champion, but finds
True.
himself up against it. What does he do? He invades. He knows the limits of the champions. Obviously, he's very capable in the jungle sense, and so far in this game, again, that snowball is happening through the jungle.
I did it for me. If he freezes this lane, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. It's a shame. Would have probably been able to just completely zone out Icy Oreo because she was out of mana on the Aurelia. Luckily, 4 Icy Oreo gets that lane in and can fight another day. So far, 0-1. Doris needs to make another play here. Get that Viego accelerating a little more, but I'm hoping we see a gank towards that bot lane as they're using this pressure that they've acquired to get that first dragon. Objectives unlock.
Oh, Aurelia just got the reset. I see
Yeah.
Oreo trying to steal the show, flashes forward, fully stacked passive, and gets the final hit on the tree man up there in the top lane. Solo kill for Icy Oreo. I know you got to feel good about that one.
Yeah, getting a little bit of revenge on the top side here. And now I'm a bit worried for I did it for me, because Irella's going to be able to keep doing that over and over as soon as her ultimate is up. And that's going to be brutal for the Ivern. And of course, playing support champion can be a little bit behind in the game. Okay, it's Bongos. I thought that was going to be a bit of a risky engage, as they have successfully negated mid lane here. I did it for me. The lane, again, not freezing. Unfortunate for this Ivern. Really wants to be in that position.
It's very hard. Good flash, actually, get out of that one. Luckily, Pranger is not level 6, and that could be attributed to that very early gank from the Viego. Getting ganked as a jungler, gotta feel bad every time that happens. But
Wait.
up there in that top side is Pranger is just dealing with death right there. Samuel, no ultimate. Which will mean that the Vi will be able to get a reset, but that gives full license for roam from Doris as Viego hunts again. He's looking for the dive in the mid lane. It's Bongos, no mana. If he uses this card of the week, he does. Doesn't connect on Samuel.
Nice.
Spectral Maw gets set up and killed with the Blade of the Rune King. Not the item, that's the ability, and that's Doris' second kill of the game.
Oh, bit of a setup kill here. MK Beaver going to be taking some poke on the way out. It's just a trade at the end of the day, but that dive mid was beautiful. I don't think Doris needed to use flash. Probably could have tanked a few turret shots, but they get the dive onto Syndra. She is weak early, so they're probably targeting. Whoa, Ruben is getting quite low. They're going to need a back down here at bot lane, but I think something to point out for this bot lane, they are closing in on level 6.
We know what happened in game 1 once that level 6 was achieved. No Varus, of course, going to be the Jhin, but still devastating once that curtain call comes up, and now they will be able to get a reset here. Looks like Ash actually cancelled it as Doris is coming back round to try and aid the top laner. Ivern
Daisy knock
falling
up
in the 1v1. Daisy will knock up there Relia. She doesn't have any Ion in favor. There's going to be one there. Flawless to it. Lands on the Doris. Gets Vanguard's edge out. Can't get the last blade search for the reset because Daisy stealing the show up there in the top lane. Great gank.
And that is the power of the Ivern with the Daisy. Wow, Flash is being burned just for trying to get in that final bit of
action
damage.
Everywhere. Level 6. Pranger gets it on the money. Scar of the week. Season Assist needs to come out. Hello?
Okay. Didn't use the ultimate. Yeah, question mark pings. Look, if someone was playing solo queue, it's Bongo would probably just FF right there or something like that. That was a free kill. It was on a platter. It was served up and doesn't go for the cease and desist.
Oh, there
level
we
6s
go.
are in.
The current comes up and Vaporeon is revealed to not be there anymore. The greatest magic trick is a magic trick you don't tell anybody why. Good flash from Dude Broman followed up by the Ash. One more should do it. Exhausted. Dawn and Shadow. Ruben won't get the kill. Man, that was close, but Vice here to clean up. Ruben doesn't dodge that one as Pranger makes a comeback in the bot lane, cleans up that mess.
Imagine if Pranger used cease and desist right there.
Bongos would be spam pinging. Hello?
Yeah. You know, that could have been a UI glitch, but I'm pretty sure Pranger did not use the ultimate yet. So far, a bit of a mistake from Pranger. Maybe not the most comfortable on this champion, as I did it for me in a CS deficit. Been there before in game number 1, but now doing it on the Ivern here. I do say that he's so far playing excellently on low economy champions, so that might be their strategy coming forward here, as we're 1 minute away from the very contested Dragon. Ruben not level 6 yet. I imagine we'll be able to hit that in time for Dragon, and that might be the pick setup that we're looking for here.
Well, there's a fight over the vision here, and rightly so. 40 seconds
control
for that Dragon. And Ruben just walking up there. A little bit of a shame because level 6 for this Dragon fight could be the turning point for the contest here, but you gotta feel because it's Seraphine and Senna, there's not really any pressure down there to actually go for that Dragon. They can let this one go, but remember they did that in game 1 and they paid the price for it, as I did it for me. Under pressure. Does get the root up on the Icy Oreo and negates the engage, so gets the ultimate out of Aurelia and we'll be able to eat up this wave again. Daisy's just relentless. Oh my god, don't kill Daisy.
Oh, trying to just... Oh, Daisy survives with 4
Daisy.
HP. Icy Oreo. Oh, 50 gold though. I mean, that's a lot. I'll take that.
Cashing in. Somebody's got to make money on that death. What a shame. Daisy, the MVP several times up there. Maybe as the game goes ahead, we'll see that a little bit more as MK Beaver goes under 50% health there in that negative trade. But the roam is good from Victor, and Viego has made the call. They're going to secure that Dragon.
Yeah, Rift Herald trade, I believe, as Vi's coming back down from the pit there. So they do make that trade. I have to say, very, very good restraint from Beaver and Ruben. They knew that they shouldn't die right there because their jungler is doing dragon. So communication there doesn't go for the return all in. And so far, IDK only a bit of a lead. Oh, that's going to go wide, wide, wide. Ruben, first real big miss of the day. As IDK, they have a small lead here, Lamb. Let's bring attention to that. But it's nothing to sing praises about.
Well, Samuel. Oh, interrupts the cease and desist. I wonder. No, it does go on to
Yep,
cooldown
it does
there.
go on
So
cooldown.
that is a pretty clutch plays from the Victor. But look, Corandoris is going to sniff out the Vi. Contested chickens here is Vi coming back in. Gets the smite down. Okay, good smite
Wait,
coming out
Bongo's
there.
in trouble?
Oh, and Bongos. He's in trouble. He's burning. He gets stuck in the gravity field. And Samuel, the gank attempt was on him. He turns it around, and Pranger has to flash out of his own side of the red jungle again. Because who else but Corandoris? Whoa, that was a flash.
Yeah, decided to save the ultimate instead here. Might be useful in this upcoming fight if they pull the trigger on it. Ash Arrow probably about 5 seconds away from being up. I did it for me, doing the same old thing, just trying to hold at the turret. Don't need to look at this right now. I mean, it's been the same thing every time we've looked up here. I mean, the wave is even in the same spot as well. I think the
Maybe
auto
he's doing
camera.
this on purpose.
Auto
Maybe
camera
it's-
should take a hint here. It's a yeah,
Listen.
yeah.
Well, he's got that Moonstone Renewer now in his inventory. So the Ivern is just chilling up there. I mean, only falling once to the 1v1. Now it's going to get a little bit harder because that Bladed Ruin King going to be completed on that last back for Icy Oreo 226. Blade Surge forward, flawless duet, lands as well, going for the Vanguard's edge, looking for the solo kill again. We've seen this already before.
A shield coming in.
Cancels the auto, and the shield comes out
Daisy
from
knock up.
Ivern. Stays alive. Corandoris looking to clean this one up. Still fully stacked passive, no more. The damage is gone, and Ivern, I did it for me, actually gets that kill.
Yeah, I guess Daisy did pick it up on the end, but
Daisy.
Daisy MVP. Oh, that is a very desperate Rift Herald. Only about 40 seconds left on the plates. That's why they're going for it right now. The wave just barely going to be pushed in. They're going to get the plates. I hope they don't try to go for anything more. It's going to be a bit greedy. Yeah, that one last plate, and please leave. The Cenifine are making their exit now. So far, at the end of the day, the only one with a huge lead is Corandoris and Samael here in this game.
Oh, that was an arrow from Ash.
Oh, the
and that's
charm?
An encore.
Do they have
That's
it?
MK Beaver. Great flash.
Wait, the ultimate
The
coming
Jin
out.
gets out. He's going to bring out the curtain call. Is the exhaust going to be procced
Why are we
down?
looking
And
at that?
Viego is here looking for something, but there's just too many on the health bar side there. As it's Bongos just walks past Viego.
We
Gentleman's
didn't
agreement
say-
there, probably.
And we didn't say the word the phrase that everyone says. Good job there, Lamb.
Yeah, we're
Something
staying
about
away
ships.
from that. Yeah,
Yeah,
something
let's
about,
not mention that.
Something about Ivern gets the Bushmaker down. Icy Oreo tags up the turret a couple of times. Is that first turret going to be destroyed in the bot side? And it's going to be for the side of Dude Broman and DJ Vaporeon. They don't care about the Jin and Ashes. They cash in on that turret. But a big part of that was because Shelly came down there. So
Yeah,
they did the right thing. They got them out of that 2v2 lane now. Potentially, they should be rotating to the mid lane to continue that pressure.
Yeah, I would have to say huge success. They actually make it out of this bot lane and with a lead. Now, to be fair, they did sacrifice mid a little bit and they did have a small hiccup on that bot side. But if you're the Cenifine lane, you're happy with this current situation. And despite this very small gold lead, the power that's going to be achieved in the mid game by the Cenifine is going to be absolutely huge.
Oh, that's an arrow. That's Ruben. That's Vaporeon.
Oh, the flash is
using
down.
Flash already. Spectral Maul lands perfectly. Heartbreaker secures that kill. Seraphine making a transfer over to the other team. And Viego gets the 4th kill of his fantastic game. As Corandoris really, again, putting on a clinic on this champion.
Yeah, really the one pulling the trigger, calling for these plays, and picking up the kills. Did it on Vi. Now doing it on Viego. Kind of similar champions. Vi does not scale as well, though, as they're setting up a very nice 3rd dragon. Lamb, this is a 7-0 dragon sweep. If they pull this off, that would be massive.
Good disengage from Bongos there on trouble, but Aurelia should be able to get this turret up there in the top side. as all the plays are going to be made around this dragon. No teleport on Icy Oreo, which means this is probably, you're going to be right here, Crims. This is probably going to go uncontested because this Aurelia cannot join the fight as we see IDK, the 5 strong in that bot side river. Ivern putting down the brush so they can. I wonder, can they still see the dragon? They just don't know who's attacking it. Daisy's getting sent out 1v5.
For the steal.
They're still going for it. Encore only going to land on a Viego as the Pranger goes on cease and desist, goes back over to Samuel. That's going to be first kill going over to the Victor. A lot of damage coming out from the glorious evolution. Upgrades of Victor. Heartbreaker misses, but that's a triple kill onto Samuel. Looking for more. Scar of the Week misses, but the flash forward is good. Samuel still walking forward, and Daisy will not tag up anymore as the Aurelia gets there a little bit too late. And again, was it a fight that they could win? Obviously not, but dictating how the results of that one was. Samuel has to flash out of there as well. Daisy goes back in, stand up in the gravity field. Dubroman going to heal up the Aurelia for now. So much threat of a kill with this Aurelia, but as soon as you get stunned, that threat is just immediately gone.
OSU taking a very ill-advised fight without their strongest champion, the Aurelia. So not only was it a 4v5, your Vi gets blown up right at the beginning to go for the Dragon Steal. So not only do you lose Dragon, you lose the fight, and now Icy Oreo missed out on some farm. Did get the top lane turret, so there was a bit of a trade. But yeah, that call for the fight, you either leave your Vi or you don't go for it all, and everyone makes a very hasty exit because they can catch you from very far away. IDK have such a huge engage range that you can't really stick around like that and think that after the dragon goes down that they're just going to be, oh, got the dragon. Definitely not going to go for the free kills you guys have lined up here.
And even with these kill leads, the gold is relatively close, but Vi looking to change that. Collapse on Samuel up there. Will he get the ultimate off? He
what a
does, and
turnaround.
he burns the Syndra. Goes 1 for 1, and now Pranger has to hightail it because the squad is here. Flash comes out from Corridorus, but misses the stun. Jim will return with his own, but Pranger already out of there.
I don't think you go for the flash there. I think Corridorus just feeling himself. His 403 cell probably feels pretty good, as that CC's not going to amount to much.
Cook.
And yeah, he's definitely cooking. He's cooking right now. They got the flame on max. They're going to be going ahead to send their Ivern mid lane here to catch the wave. They've secured themselves a nice Rift Herald here. And despite this gold lead, I mean, again, IDK, they just look like they have more control of the map. They don't need a pure gold lead to win. They have very excellent macro on this style. I'm going to say, Lamb, they look really, really good. I wonder who did they fall to in their first week in this game.
Well, maybe that defeat taught them a lesson and they've corrected things, going back to the drawing board. It's something you always reflect on, but again, they got 3 dragons to the good, and this one, that goal lead is very close, regardless of how this game is going.
The Ash Arrow?
Oh, lands on his Senna. Daisy comes out. Corridor is going to go forward with the Heartbreaker. Getting range there. Gets interrupted by Pranger, but he'll be pushed back as Senna dropped almost immediately. And the stun will come out from the Senna as teleports are popped on both individual carries. Syndra and Aurelia are going to join the fight. Well, there was a fight, but now it's been disengaged, so they get 2 big cooldowns off of that pick. They're playing it so well here, Crims.
Yeah, they're not overextending, I have to say. They
Ruben,
know exactly
Vanguard
what they
says,
want to do.
Oh, Icy Oreo. If he just stayed in the Ash, you
Ivern.
might have got the kill there. Ash still burning. What will heal up is Samuel going forward aggressively. The laser coming out. Bongo's burning himself. Donna's Shadow comes out to make sure the mid laner doesn't fall. And again, the skirmish goes so close.
Icy Oreo is kind of feeling desperate. Knows that only one on the team with the damage right now wants to go for this play. Because of that loss in the mid fight right there, they're going to go ahead and turn this over the Rift Herald. They're going to be taking this turret down, and they're about 30 seconds away from an 8-0 Dragon sweep. IDK's control over this series has been massive, and they're really executing well with this style that they set up here. Some teams are gonna have to find a counter, gonna have to pick some very choice bans, because so far with this Ashe support, it's looking like they know they're very practiced on this comp. I just keep reiterating because it looks so well executed, well practiced.
Is that a Magi's for Ivern?
Yeah, Ivern can really be survivable. And maybe you don't get kills, but you get a lot of assists without dying. And it's
That's
going to
right.
be able to enhance your ability to save your backline even further against Icy Oreo here.
5 assists in this game, and Pranger will have to go the opposite way, charging up that Q, but not going to take the engage just yet. Dragon going to be started up. Here's Corondoris in full control as he always has been. They're looking for those consecutive 8 dragons in a
First
row without
5v5 here.
contest. But Pranger will go forward on Samuel. Takes a little bit of damage, but then goes back
that's
with a kill.
huge
Storm's going to come
Seraphine.
out. Big encore coming out from the Seraphine, but it might not matter here as Icy Oreo gets stuck in the front line, gets removed. Corondoris or Heartbreaker resets were happening, gets stunned up, and Daisy still taking the fight. Going to knock up the Seraphine. That route does not land for either for me, but the laser does on his bongos. Over the wall goes
Beaver
MK
fever.
Beaver, looking for a little bit more. Doesn't get the deadly flourish, but it's stun lands from Daisy, and MK Beaver will get that kill, and they will get that soul point. Soul point, they got the damn soul. The point was already taken.
Beaver Fever there chases down, gets those kills. Samel has so much damage here, Lamb. Absolute monster in that burst, 7, 1, and 4. They able to just burst out Prager as well as land the deadly gravity field stun, letting Corondonis finish him off and just completely turn around on that fight despite the engage from Pranger. I have to say, that looked like a very well burst executed team fight. They don't exactly win in the 5v5s. That Seraphine charm almost turned it all around, but because of their lead that they've accrued in these, in these pick situations around Dragon, it gave them the win in that fight. And so far, they're en route to pick up the win here, Lamb.
Won't be a perfect game, but perfect performance maybe, because they haven't put a foot wrong. The objective control has been phenomenal. I believe they've only lost out on one Herald, that big crab, right? Shrimp is bigger than the crab in this case. But the gold lead that they amount themselves, sometimes it doesn't really show, but when you look across the board on the itemization that's been picked up by the individuals on this team, that Victor is so far ahead. And again, I want to go back to it. This all started 3 minutes into the game, Crims, when they were invading Pranger.
Yeah, Pranger was just a feast for Corondoris this game. So far, I mean, Vi's just not tanking enough despite the Radiant Virtue here. Oh, it's Bongo being caught out here. Look at that damage.
Oh, wow.
Unstoppable.
Action
Great idea
down
for
there.
me.
Daisy not going to help out with this one. Should have the Blade
Oh,
Surge
has
to
the
get in
Q.
range. Yeah, Icy Oreo playing that really good. Actually, really clean getting the resets
Season
on this
assist.
Aurelia.
Oh,
No,
dang,
Vi does
in
not
range.
pull it again.
So far, I mean, has Pranger actually gotten a cease and desist off? I'm very...
One in
I
the
haven't
team
re-
fight when it got blown up. At
Just
the
the
Dragon.
one? Oh, no.
One or two. It's been one or two, I think.
Yeah, definitely not getting any good ones this game, though. As we have the jostling of the vision for the Baron. So far, though, OSU have control of the Baron vision. Right now, IDK have the surrounding vision. They're going to need to get the resets to push up and take control of that Baron. I imagine once they do, that they're probably going to pull the trigger, go for it, bait in, get a pick early, because so far, that is exactly how they've been operating in these late stage objective takes here. And they certainly need to be pressing their gold lead. I imagine they don't want to dilly-dally and let the Syndra Seraphine scale.
Well, Pranger still objecting to go over those walls. Hit all his might, but Corondoris
Oh,
is
if
going
they
to
get
lock
Pranger,
up
it's
here.
Baron for sure.
Arrow goes wayward. He does get tagged up by that final bullet. Actually, the third one from that curtain call. And you can see the setup again. Corondoris will kill the opposing jungler as he goes on to a cooldown. 35 seconds on Pranger now with the Baron still up. They might be looking to just get the vision. No, they're going to start it up here, Crims.
Yeah, the pings are coming down. They're going to teleport some mail. This is going to be a 4v5, and they're already behind on the side of OSU, so they don't even want to face check it here. They knew once Pranger died, that's the Baron. So that pick proving so vital, and their comp is so set up for it as well. This is going to lend to even more control. That is what Baron gets you. And I imagine that Elder in 2 minutes is looking mighty uncontestable. As IDK, they're just slowly clamping down. They're just crushing the hopes and dreams of OSU in this game. Buckeye Gaming, it's not looking good.
5,300 is that goal lead in favor of IDK. We're still wondering if that name change will come about. Be interested. I know Crims will have something to say
early
about that,
pick
but
here.
Corindor going to have something to say about this. Don't Broman gets the exhaust off on the Viego, but it doesn't matter. He's lived without that and still gets the damage through. Icy Oreo now under threat. MK Beaver will grab that one. The Elder's up in 120 if they even need it to close out this game, because that snowball is well on its way as they are mounting the attack in that mid lane. They're waiting for the wave, but the Baron is going to ensure that this second tier in that mid lane is going to go down.
Yeah, they're starting to pull away.
Oh.
Almost gets the pick there.
Oh,
Beaver trying to go for it there. I don't think they have enough of death timers to go for the finish here, Lamb. So they're going to probably be looking to end with that Elder. But it's looking like it's just all going to be a flowchart from here on out.
Daisy's 1v9ing right now. That's the
Daisy
biggest problem.
is MVP. Daisy MVP.
A giant cupcake running around. I mean, you might need the Ghostbusters for this rather than Osu in this one. She's definitely proven hard to keep tabs off. There needs to be, I feel like that's a missed window. Marshmallow skin for Daisy would be perfect.
That is a good idea. Oh, they're going for a pick instead. Arrow goes wide.
Like ships sailing in the night.
No, no, you did it. Why? Why did you
I've done
do
it.
that? You've ruined
That's it.
everything.
The broadcast is finished now. That's it. Well, we'll see
I've
if
lost all energy for this.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can say the same, but IDK are certainly not short of that. They're mounting that. They're going to take this Elder, let's be honest. This is uncontestable unless Pranger goes in and tries a Hail Mary, and even if he does that, his team might not have the damage to actually take the 4v5 after it.
All right, Slayer gonna be looking mighty sad here after this Elder Dragon gets taken. 0-2 with predictions for today. It's dropping low, but we have a flank. Both sides. Can IDK mount an attack?
Pincer activated. They come off the dragon just to kill them here. The focus bomb goes first, and on the south side, they're actually going to go back onto their rally. She blade surges to her death, and I heard the cry of Daisy. Daisy came in and punched the hell out of the Aurelia. Says, get off this dragon. This does not belong to you. Seraphine doing the BM back. Samuel has the flash, goes forward, got the Elder. Goodbye, Seraphine. You might find another particular spot to back, and certainly Samuel's going to help you with that one. Is now they have everything. Ivern actually backdoor in here. Look at this, Crims.
Ivern trying to end the game as they pick up the
Oh,
last
wow.
kill, the last
Disease.
remnants, and Might cannot catch up to us in predictions as, what is it, we're Cram? As Cram are the prediction winners of today. But before we go to the desk, before we talk about them, let's talk about this IDK team, because they look phenomenal. And I don't think there's any way in the future, whoever watches this VOD, lets this comp through for their team ever again. They look too good on it.
Ruben especially, I feel like Ruben had really good games, and I believe he only died one time in both series as a support Ashe. Now that is pretty impressive when you're going into a Vi, when you're going into an Aurelia, a Seraphine, you know, the pick and the point and click deletion, especially on Syndroid as well. But the fact that the whole squad performed so well across the board meant that there was really no pressure on Ruben this whole series. He could throw out those arrows on cooldown. If he gets it, then great. If not, wait another 35 seconds and I'll throw another one out from wherever the hell I want. And half of them landed, and it proved so hard for actually also to actually play around that, right? Ohio just looked like they were so lost on how they could actually contain that pick potential that IDK had in this game. And man, they played so well, and they thoroughly deserved both wins in this series.
Yeah, I think the bot lane picks are proving to be the biggest detriment. The Swain in game number 1 and the Seraphine in game number 2. They're just conceding all power. It doesn't matter if you have the Vi, it's about that bot lane push and how much pressure they can exert on the game. And Ruben, as you said, doing very well on the Ashe, and Beaver on the Vars and Jin on these far range AD carries with a little bit of utility built into their kit, looking really good. And then on top of that, Lamb, Doris with
Tell me.
these engage and catch and kill junglers doing excellently here. IDK, they found their groove for sure if they didn't find it before, and now looking like they're a team to look out for.
Well, since that kind of wraps it up for both of these games from me and Crims, we are gonna, for the last time, we can say this with good energy. The salty spittoon awaits because Lamb and Crims were right with both of their predictions today. Over to you guys on the analyst desk.
I just want to say real quick, Crims, I thought IDK was gonna win this one. So
I think
feeling
he
a
was
little
trying
hurt
to
right now. I'm
mock
feeling a
you.
little hurt right now.
He was trying to mock you because you're not going to catch them at 2-0. So
Oh, that's fine.
I'm actually just going to take this
Look.
entire time to announce my resignation from Dominate. No, all jokes aside.
Like someone's got to root for the underdog.
Right, yeah. You know what? I'm a sucker for an underdog story. We'll go with that.
Which
But
is crazy because they were 1-in coming out. They were 1-0. They were the favorite matchup.
they were 1-0, and they're a team that I've been a part of Dominate for a while. Like I've watched Icy Oreo dominate a lot of games in Dominate. No pun intended there, accidentally. But yeah, I mean, this series was just kind of an eye opener, and this game was just another kind of stomp. If you tally up the kill, I'm gonna give you guys some quick math. I think this really just says this emboldens the entire series. The kill count for this 2-0 sweep from IDK is 54-6. 54-6. That is a differential of 48. Yeah, that doesn't
that's a lot.
happen.
That's a large
That is a
number.
lot. And
60 kills in. Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
right?
Whew.
I really think it also just plays. I think Doris might be the MVP of this league if he keeps playing like he did in this series. Another beautiful performance, and yeah, I mean, guys like Samuel also performed well on this Victor at points. You obviously had to deathless MK Beaver, but Doris just sets his team up so well, and he's shut down Pranger this entire series as well. He's really just seems like he's smurfing on all these kids.
Yeah, Doris, I agree with you 100%. I think he's my MVP, at least for the set. Possibly, like you said, the entire league. The man has zero hesitation. He waits for the perfect opportunity, and then he pulls the trigger immediately, and then starts the snowball of decision making of like, we take an objective, we do this. If we get this, we do this. It feels so methodical here from IDK. They just played very clinical, perfect games for their compositions, which were catch comps. Just we arrow somebody from far away, or we W somebody from far away, or we get somebody with the Viego E, and then we just blow them up. And that's what they did every single time. They picked 3 catchers in like either Ashe, and then Jin was basically Varus last game. Viego was Vi, and then they picked a control mage mid, and then they send they send the top lane to do whatever he wants. In this instance, it was Ivern. They're like, whatever, you just pick some kind of supportive. That last game was Shen. This game was Ivern, and they just rounded out the composition. Played super clean, super well. On the other side of things, we had Icy Oreo trying to make things happen. He had a pretty decent performance in both games, but it was just a lot. The bot lane differential was just massive. Yeah, it was huge. Beaver, leave it to Beaver. Oh my gosh, that guy is going absolutely nuts. And he was given his favorite champion on the Jin, something that we thought was going to be contested in this matchup. I would have liked to see BCG with their first pick Prio just pick it. I don't think the Amumu and the Belveth ban, like the Belveth ban, I think was a wasted ban every game in the series. If you look at the comps that they drafted, the Belveth isn't a catcher. Belveth is like a late game insurance team fighter, and damage dealer. But I digress. I'm sorry. I could go on all day here, but well played to IDK. They bring it up 1-1. They send BGC to 1-1. So they're making the bracket just a little bit more competitive. People are going to be biting their nails just a little bit more when it comes to securing these playoff spots.
Yeah, we're still very early in the season, right? So it's kind of a relaxed, casual vibe. If you couldn't tell that the broadcast was relaxed and casual, then go watch SpongeBob, because that was our entire identity of this broadcast. I'm gonna just put it on my shoulders. I guess I have to bring a theme to every broadcast now for Dominant. SpongeBob quotes was today. Well, who knows what's gonna come of the rest of this? But yeah, congratulations to IDK. Interestingly enough, IDK were 0-1. They got swept last week by WLS, Heart of the Draft Gap. So in Group 1. So if IDK lmao played like this against the Buckeye Gaming Club, what is going on with WLS? Hopefully we should be getting a look, at least maybe here on this stream or the other team's stream as well, other Dominant talent team, excuse me, of what WLS brings to the table. But yeah, this has been a quick one, guys. IDK lmao established themselves as one of the teams to beat early on this season, and that will close everything out for us. Mike, do you have any final thoughts or final SpongeBob quotes before we get out of here?
I got nothing for you at the top of my head. My leg! There we go. I'll just throw it out there for
Oh,
you.
there you go. There you go. Most iconic background fish in SpongeBob. You just put it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll spare you all of the silliness. I did go 0-2 on predictions. Famously, what nobody here knows is that I went 0-5 in Dominant finals in fall of 2022. I did not pick a
Damn,
single
that's
winner.
brutal. Just bet against
0-5.
Slayer if we've learned anything here.
Just
He will make
yeah.
you rich.
Just fade me, guys. That's exactly what it is. Fade my bets. But we're gonna get on out of here. Hopefully, you guys had a good rest of your weekend. Congratulations once again to IDK lmao. I've been Slayer. That's Mike. Shout out to Crims and Lom for another beautiful cast. And the biggest shout out goes to Chippy on production, always making sure everything looks fabulous across all broadcasts. This has been week 2 of Premade Dominant Winter 2023 split. We'll make sure to stake around though on Risen. Follow the socials because I know Divine is coming back on Tuesday. We have Draft running on Fridays and as well Unstoppable on Saturdays. So you'll be able to get your fix of Risen League of Legends action pretty much all week long, especially on the weekends. But for now, enjoy the rest of your Sunday and we'll see you guys next week.